this is Mura Sakio Okamii, and this is another translation. This one is slightly different from my previous translations. Now, all my other translations have been pretty much adults only, but this one is actually classified as all ages. Yeah, so, well, I would say it's more like a T-rated manga, so like your Vampire Knights, like your shoujo beats. So this manga is called ENDROLL Diary Extra 1. So it's, well, I wouldn't say a spin-off, but it's sort of like a preview to the upcoming ENDROLL Diary series, because ENDROLL Diary, the main storyline, hasn't been published yet. But this, like, extra series is sort of more like a preview of, like, okay, it's sort of like pilot episodes. So if you remember, like, The Simpsons, like, used to be on the Tracy Ullman show before it became its own thing, like The Simpsons, it's sort of like that. So yeah, this story is about two vampire brothers, Zeke and Eric, and well, one of them's a bit of a broke on the older brother. He's like, Eric, can I have some blood, please? And Zeke is like, oh god, I remember last time you drank my blood. You drank too much. We're not doing that. You can have my hand, but you can't have my neck. It's actually quite funny, the reaction of the brother. I'm not going to give away because it did make me giggle. But yeah, so yeah, I do plan on translating the rest of the series if it does well. There was another translator that started translating the series, like they only did the first one last year, I believe, and then it's like they abandoned the project. Like this is like the only translation they did, so I decided to like do my own translation and sort of pick up the mantle and be like, okay, if this manga sells, I can't remember how many copies I gave this one to, like, because each manga I do give like a sort of like goal before I do a sequel. And yes, in case you're wondering, there is another series that I am doing, and I am very well aware that that second volume is overdue, but I've just been busy doing these other ones, so it's kind of like get on the back burner. But yeah, so for this one, if it sells 5 copies, if it sells at least 5 copies, then I'll do the next one, and then so on and so forth and so forth. Which I think is reasonable, you know? If it sells like enough copies, then I'll do the sequel. And yes, I will get, like I said, I will get back to the other series. I've been meaning to. Honestly, I like forgot. I was like, oh, it's a one shot, but then it got like the first volume got jailblocked, but the rest of the series got jailblocked for some strange reason. I'm not going to say what series it is because this is like a family-friendly manga podcast, so I don't want to mention that other one too much. But if you know, you know. But yeah, but like the second volume of that one didn't get jailblocked, and it's still been selling well. It's sold a couple of copies recently, so it's like there's still interest in it. So I do plan on going back to that one and doing translation for that soon-ish. I can't really say when, but I have purchased the volume, so it's pretty much all I have to do is just do the application for that translation and then get on with it. But yeah, so yeah, this series, to get back on track, get back to the topic at hand, this manga, it's very much like the old shoujo beat titles. So if you remember them, like it's sort of like a more comedic version of Bloody Mary, if anyone remembers that. It's probably more like Vampire Knight, Bloody Mary, but like more comedic. So probably best describe it as like Vampire Knight mix it with any comedic Arina Tanimoto title, really. Or I'm trying to think of a comedic manga. I actually don't read that many comedic manga series because one, there's not many of that was translated in English at the time, and 2, jokes are just really hard to translate. But luckily, this joke manga is very much more on the slapstick side, so the jokes are more universal, which is good, because it's like, otherwise you'd be given a load of translators notes, so it'd be more like a Japanese lesson than just sitting down and enjoying it. But yeah, it was quite interesting, like, translating an all ages manga, because it's like a very different sort of, so it's like very different expectations. Where's it glitch? Strange. Yeah, it's like you got very different, like, what the fuck? Why is it glitching? So yeah, it's got like, you've got very different like me saying expectations. So you've got like different expectations for like what the manga, like, you know, I like to keep like the bad language to that like an absolute minimum, whilst with an R18 manga you kind of swear a lot more often. Like, it's not as like severe. Never mind. But yeah, with so with all ages, you can't use a lot of bad language. I mean, I guess you could, but I don't like doing that with the translations, because it's all ages, you know, you don't want to drop an F-bomb somewhere. I mean, with something like this, like, you gotta think of the theme as well. I'd say this is more like a T-rated, so you could probably say some mild bad language. It's not like super family friendly, but it's like, you know, a general audience can read it, you know. So, you know, you got to approach those sort of series differently from, like, say, the R18 works, which was quite an interesting experience. It was quite nice, and plus, also, you don't have the same, like, sort of respite of, like, translating the sex. A lot of when translating sexes, it's just translating R. So it's like, you know, you don't have like as many breaks. It's like just mostly like dialogue. So unless there's like a more dramatic moment, and then it's like, sometimes it's like you just get the page of a character, maybe a couple speech bubbles to translate. So yeah, very different experience from what I usually translate, but it was fun. And hopefully you guys can enjoy reading it too, because I'd love to translate more if this sells well. So yeah, thank you for listening. Remember to support the author and buy it. Right. So ja ne, bye bye, arigato, see you, bye bye, bye. Bye.